James, thank you so much for
Good seeing you.
Coming to see us here at PRI.
Yeah, appreciate you having me.
When'd you get in?
Got in late last night, and then we stayed up probably too late. Here we are.
Well, good thing we didn't
started it off right.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't take the early morning
That's great. Yeah, but so anyway, James, as many of you might know, is also AKA Build Tune Race.
Yep.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Yeah, so here probably in 2017, I started Build Tune Race, which is like a personal brand to build YouTube videos and create content around car stuff, and hopefully go play and have fun. I figured if I'm going to be building a car and racing it and tuning on them and all that stuff, I might as well make videos about it. So grabbed a camera and started filming and making videos about it, and then started off with like a Camaro that I had as a drag car. I built it initially and never filmed any of that. I wish I had that footage. And then it's now on version 3 with your guys' engine, but and then a burnout truck and another car that April runs and different things like that. So just I'm going to be building them and tuning them and racing them. Might as well film it and have some fun doing it. And it's an interesting ecosystem with social media and all the content out there and all that stuff. So
yeah, well, I guess it seems the social media stuff is getting in the way of your racing, because I was expecting to see you in Rocky Mountain.
Yeah,
but no, you're behind the camera.
Yeah. So sometimes, fortunately, unfortunately, I have clients that are in the automotive industry. So sometimes I'm in front of it, sometimes I'm behind it. But either way, I'm learning about it and trying to help promote and produce. And like we had conversations last year about reels and stuff like that in the booth, and just talking about techniques and content. I love it all, and live feeds and all that stuff. So yeah, just trying to do it all, I guess.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Salty.
Salty,
by the way, is his Gen4 Camaro.
Yep. Yeah, it's a 1998 Camaro. I bought it as a roller, then did the whole like junkyard 5.3 deal, single turbo. I think it went mid-tens. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but put a Hall EFI in it and learned that I had no idea what I was doing, but somehow didn't hurt it, and we went pretty quick with it or whatever. And then into the season, living in Colorado, we go dormant for 6 months, went fast enough to need a cage, got a stock block 408, had a single turbo on it for a while, went like 560s in the 8th, no prep style car, and then hurt a piston because of a dirty injector on E85 and won't run E85 anymore. Run good gasoline and keep the injectors nice and clean, but that turned into a whole snowball effect of a 750 cage, talking to you guys a couple years ago here at PRI about building me an engine for that car, what I want to do, what the goals were. I want to go drive it. I want to go this fast, I have some other people that work with me on some stuff, and let's incorporate them into the build on the engine and all that. And here we are. I've had the car out since the beginning of the year and ended up going a best of 789, 513 in the 8th with a not a great 60 foot, so plenty of power, and it went 142 to the 8th and 180 out the back. So I'm only 23.5 pounds, so I think the car will go deep sevens at maybe nearing high 190 mile an hour mark. And I don't know if we'll eclipse 200 or a 6-second pass, but maybe if the stars align right and I'm willing to maybe risk hurting it, we can get there. It's a heavy car, so 3,475 pounds.
Yeah, well, I guess all season, watching your videos, your issue hasn't been power.
No. Yeah, it's I used snow prep the car, and now I set everything up to try to go fast on a radial surface, but we don't have a lot of that where we're at. So, like, we're going to Texas 2K in March, get good prep and get after it and see what we can do. Like, best 60 foot on the car right now is a 129. Where I know a lot of other cars that have similar power plants, combos, suspension, all that, they're going deep 1-teens, like low 1-teen, 60, and that's huge. 129 to a 112 or 113 that's a whole different world.
Right.
So we can get that down. Just with the power in it, it'll go probably 760s, and then we'll keep turning it up from there. So.
Right, yeah. Like, for instance, with Marcus's car here, first day out, all they wanted to focus on was that 60-foot time. Yeah. Because that's basically where you win or lose.
Yeah, it really matters. And, like, a goal for me was to go my first 7-second pass with this build, and we got it in the first season out, and I think I could literally leave that tune-up in the car, and it would do it for years. It's not really hard on anything.
But it seemed like it surprised you when you did it.
Yeah. Well, so like you said, we kind of struggled. So, anti-roll bar, car going right, car spinning, finally get good prep, and then all the stars aligned, and I didn't even go out to make that 7-second pass. I wanted to go out there and see if we can get the 60 foot down. It carried the wheels, it set it down, I drove back towards center, and went through the 8th, and I was like, oh, that felt pretty good. we're going to ride this thing out. And the fastest pass prior to that was an 8:30, lifting early, but an 8:30. So we went from an 8:30 to a 7:89. And that was a PB and then a PB. So it was a big jump. And it hit when the chute hits at 180 mile an hour, and you're like, ooh, that feels a little different from hitting the chute at 150 or 60 mile an hour. You're like, okay, we were moving a little bit. The car kind of tugs around a little bit and settles. And you're like, oh, it felt good. So yeah, it's been super fun season and just getting started with it and working and all that stuff. But we find our time to go race. So.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny, with the kind of racing that our customers do. It's getting the car and aligned with the engine and the power, and how do you make it all work together?
Yeah, I think, watching my dad race and stuff kind of growing up, like making the power was something. You're always chasing power. Man, power's so easy. Like literally they could call you up, order what I got, and make the power.
Right.
Now go get it to work, though. Go figure it out, right? So you guys make it super easy to make the power. That's not cost a few bucks, but it's very easily achievable. Like nothing I have in my car is like some special nobody talks about thing. Literally, you just call up and order another one, and there it is. You know what I mean?
Want more horsepower?
Yeah.
Well, Marcus over here, he always wants more horsepower.
Yeah, and there's always different levels to the game, right? And we even had that conversation with building mine, like, do we put these pistons and put the reluctor wheel out front, and or do you want to leave it all internal and say hydraulic roller and stuff like that? And I wanted to go as simple as possible to get the bang for the buck. Still keep it drivable, keep it easy to service, easy to drive, not do the solid roller stuff, but you can.
Yeah.
We can. And like, same, the car's on C16, it drives around on gasoline. I could jerk weight out of the car, put it on methanol, and turn the wick up even more if we want and stuff like that. But like doing drag and drive stuff, not O-ring in the head and not all that. So if we ever get a head gasket for whatever crazy reason, hopefully just grab another one, throw it in and go without having a machine or whatever.
Your car's still a driver.
Yeah, it's still very drivable and serviceable, even if you're not in the most ideal situations to service it. So that was kind of my intent with the car. It's a personal goal. The car's built to run tons of classes and be competitive, I think, pretty much at all of them, but not probably maybe win a bunch of them. Maybe you're not the top 1, 2, 3 guys because you're not solely worried about that class and that event and that competition. You're just genuinely, I want to go run them all, I want to go have fun, and if we end up in the winning circle,
right,
cool.
Yeah, because each one of them, the car setup is going to be different.
Very specific.
If you're not optimized for one, well, then
it's hard to compete with the guy that's all he does.
Exactly, yeah. So, like, for instance, the guy who is going to be doing a Facebook Live at 3:30 is Bill Devine, who's the owner of Bullseye Turbo.
Sure, yeah.
And, he's got a couple of bullseyes over there. Well, with him, we became his engine builder, and we went through it, and Tim, who's at the show here but not on the booth at the moment, told we found about 500 horsepower. In his small block Ford. Bill had small block Ford.
That's massive, though.
But the thing is, it took Bill all season to chase it down and make it all work, because for him, it was a new car and a totally different one.
Yeah, and like we were talking, like Marcus goes out and goes really fast pretty early on. That's great. That's data carried over from racing for a long time, and in a sense, we know these shocks work with these settings in them and this tire, but you still fight it. Or what you think is what it took me to go from, a high 8-second car to a high 7-second car, or hopefully a low, like that second and a half was a complete different build. Fuel pump, motor, suspension, cage, all new car, more or less. So it depends on what level you want to chase and how far you want to go after.
Yeah. If you were building Salty all over again, are there any things you'd do different or things that you learned in the process?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning so much with the car. There's nothing the car is doing exactly what I designed it and want it to do, and there's nothing really far off. Obviously, there's little things of like, that was a little tighter. That might not be as easy to work on, but at the end of the day, you got to fit turbos and the motor and you got to fit everything in there. So there's always a give and take in that. But I mean, I'm just excited to go take it and keep going to see how far it'll go. Like literally, I was like, man, if the car will go like a 770 turned up, but like be super reliable there, I'll be wicked happy. And I think we can be like a 730 or 40 car and be there, which is crazy. So like, I'm just happy. Like, let's go get a good track. Let's get prep. Let's work on that 60 foot. Let's really dial the car in. because right now I still don't have full confidence in a
Well, you haven't
repeatable
steering
situation.
problem with it pulling, and you confident that's all in the past now?
No, some of it's shock stuff that we're working on, and then the anti-roll bar. And every time I go out, I tighten it up a little bit more. But it's weird stuff like that. Like now the car has so much power, it'll carry the wheel. So now we got to tame the front end down because the wheels want to toe out a little bit when it's fully extended. So then it wants to drive a little weird, and it's the same thing. You want to set it up specifically for this, or be genuinely good at a bunch of it. And I'm kind of in that general thing right now because I want to go do a lot with the car, but you never know. One day I might be like, well, ditch that, do this, do that, and we're going to go after this thing or whatever, which is cool that it's set up that way. But putting a 750 cage in the car and relatively easily going within 3 or 4 tenths of past the cage already is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It's nice. Like I said, the power stuff's easy. You can make it all day long. Get the right turbos, the right engine combo, and it'll make it.
Yeah. What do you see for the coming season? What events are you thinking about getting into?
Yeah, so for sure Texas 2K with work depending, we'll see. I'd love to do a drag and drive with the car. So that's one of the things I'm still working on is like cooling while driving. Like it does okay, but I put a little small radiator. So probably an oil cooler. We'll work on some things there and just kind of dial that stuff in. But honestly, I know Texas 2K, and that's kind of the first thing on my mind. And then we'll see what's
when
from
is
there.
That?
But March in now they're going to be in Enos, Texas, because Houston got tore down and stuff, which sucks. But so yeah, that will start the year off with a bang there, and then there's a lot of no prep stuff locally. So I might take the car from radial to no prep and then go back to radial when there's guys that are just worried about no prep in the car. It's hard to compete, but we'll go play. Like,
yeah, right.
All the time I'm like, no, we're not racing this weekend, and then.
Yeah, I'll
all right, load up the car, let's go racing type of thing. We'll see. We're in a weird spot in Colorado with Bandamere closed down. I'm hoping. I haven't heard of anything, but like of an extension because like Houston went through like a 2 or 3 year extension deal, so where we could run like PSEA stuff and heads up. So good prep, fast street car. We got to go do a drive. If I can make it, I'd like to go do that stuff. So we'll just see. I'm not super. It's kind of like personal goals at this point. Like I'm not trying to chase a point series or if I win a race, cool, whatever. Texas 2K is cool because I'm already thinking about it. It's kind of weird. So it's like whatever, 30 whatever cars, 60 whatever cars. It's top like 8 and then 16 or whatever. And if you end up in the top cars, like you're talking 650, 680 cars. But I'm like, it'd be cool to qualify with the baddest cars at Texas 2K to be in the top build. But if I am in the second field, there's a 2/10 cap, but maybe I can win that one. So it's like, do I want to be part of the baddest group and probably lose round 1 or 2, or do I want to be in the lower group and maybe win the whole thing? So it's a really weird mind thing. I don't know. But
yeah,
just having fun. Yeah, no. It'll shake out however it shakes out, though.
Yeah. I guess LS Fest, you thinking about
Love
that?
LS Fest. I love Bowling Green's probably my favorite. Went to Vegas and Texas, so I've been to all 3. They're all great events. It's kind of a time versus event thing, and we'll just see. Like, yeah, I like going to them though. They're really, really fun. The vibes are completely different because Texas is on a NASCAR track doing no prep. Vegas is nobody's super crazy fast out there, and then like the really, really fast guys go to Kentucky and race there. So it's kind of we went out and did burnouts. April won the burnout comp one day out there in Vegas. So it's just we don't have like a schedule quite yet. We're personally, business-wise, hiring employees and trying to get away to stuff like this. This is part business, so we can half justify it. But it's fun. We're just enjoying it, and who knows where we'll be. Or I might get we were looking at a different car to go no prep race, like that April could drive or something. So like, if I get a crazy thing and find something in the marketplace, we might be buying a car and building it next week. You just never know. But my intuition says I need to not.
April looking for
All of it. She wants to get in the Camaro and go make a hit, and so I'll get it really dialed in well, and then put it on wastegate. The thing will probably go 990s on wastegate, and go get your license and see what happens. So once I'm done playing with it a little bit more, just in case something happens. But that just making sure the car is dialed, set up. It was super easy to drive, and it's a little bit more of a handful with the new combo. So before it's a glide, shift one time, you're done. It's super smooth and easy. Now it's just you got some dialing in, some refining to do.
Yeah.
But
any questions coming in, Ken? On
I suggested people ask them if they have.
cool. Yeah, if you guys got any questions, for sure, about anything. And working with these guys has been awesome. If I got a question or whatever, they're always here and always smiling when we show up at the show and just talking horsepower and race cars, which is fun. But I mean, shoot, I'm excited we're a season in on that motor, and I feel like we just broke it in, maybe, you know what I mean? And now we can go turn the screws up, and then we'll see how far we can take it.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, "Oh, you gonna go for a 6?" I'm like, no, because I don't want to hurt it. But once you get enough time out of a motor, then you're like, all right, it owes me nothing. Let's.
How many followers you're up to on Facebook and YouTube?
So Facebook's 100,000 there. YouTube's 20,000 subscribers. It's just a day-by-day growth thing, and it's kind of cool and it's fun. TikTok was weird early, like 100,000 there. So I'm still, but then I should be posting more of those things. But then I make, personally in the business, I'll make 10 plus posts per day for clients.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends I got to go film race car stuff, and then try to edit and that on the weekends and go. So we're just going.
Yeah, well, I guess one thing that struck me like a couple of years ago when I first started watching your channels is like a lot of people, they have a bad day. It never gets uploaded. Whereas you had some like really train wreck days.
Yeah.
And you put it right up there.
Yeah, so that's the whole thing is I don't go out there and try to say like I'm a professional tuner and I do this and this is how. I'm just like, this is what I'm doing. And if it works, cool, and if it don't, that's fine too. Like I'm not trying to sell anybody on running my engine or turbo kit or whatever. Like I'm going to use all these people that will partner together and put parts together and see if we can go fast. And
yeah, so it was for me really refreshing to see like real deal. And you can see, well, you have a great day, like yay, and bad day, it's like, oh god.
Dang it, yeah. There's some of those times you drive home with your head down the whole way, mad and you're idiot. What were you doing? What were you thinking? And then you live and you learn. But one of the most true things I think within what we do is the highs are only so high because the lows are so low. So when you break a motor, when the car goes away for 2 years, you're just like, man, this sucks, and all the money and time and energy. But I said in my video where I went a 7, like the moment I got that slip, I was like, all worth it. We're good. It's kind of like you accomplish something in life and you check mark the thing that will I ever go 7s, whatever, and then you do it and you're like, pretty good feeling. So yeah. There'll be a lot better days, there'll probably be a lot worse days, but that's why we do it, right? It's that excitement, that thrill, the energy around it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I think you can get that anywhere, no matter what your hobby is. If you go to the elite level of trying to run it, which we're not even close to the elite, like nitro cars and funny cars and all that stuff, but a win's a win, and beating the other guys cool and all that stuff.
Well, I think what we've seen with our customers is they ratchet up. Marcus over here, he started, and then he went drag and drive, and it was unlimited. Actually, the first engine we built for him, he called up and told Ken why we're still building it. I think I want more horsepower. Ken told him, I don't want it. We'll sell that to somebody else. We'll get
keep going. Yeah.
This is his old one. It's 4,000 horse.
Yeah.
And his new one will be 4,500.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. So I'm sure I'm not done building and going faster, even though you never know what diversify. And it's you think you're good, and then. Like literally after the 7-second pass, I look at the slip, I look at the data, I'm like, can it go a 6? And that was never even a thought within this build, that motor combo, the car. But I'm like, the numbers say we might be able to get there.
Okay.
It's going to be a push, but like, it may be able to do it. So I'm like, that's just how the mind works, right? Once you achieve it, you're just like,
what's
all
next?
right, what's next?
What's next? Yeah.
Unfortunately, in drag racing, it's a whole second in increments.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
there are a lot of steps on the ladder.
Yeah.
But well, that's great. Well, I guess if no questions in, really
appreciate.
Thank you to James' Facebook page if they want to reach
Cool.
there.
Yeah, appreciate it. If you guys got questions or whatever for me as well, send them my way, and I'll do my best to get back to everybody. So,
perfect.
cool. Thank
All
you
right.
guys.